Okay, let's go on and as your friends come, they will join us. I would like to kick off the event thanking my speakers here. We have Richard from Department of Labor, Don from United States Immigration Services, Christian Zilla from Manny and Gordon. Christian has been practicing immigration and nationalization for over 20 years. And I would also like to thank International Student Association, UCF, and Julia. She'll be joining in an hour. Hannah and friend Shine. And all these kids has helped us market the event, and we're very thankful for them and for everyone who are here. My name is Wazenn, and I'm the founder of the BIND, the non-profit organization. BIND was formed in 2012, and the non-profit on a national level, we are a public charity. We are based out in New York City, New Jersey, Florida. 2 months ago, I opened a branch in California, and we are opening a branch in Chicago, Illinois this summer. I found this non-profit to empower international students. But empower them with what? Look at that picture, culture, right? Give it 5 seconds, just take a look at it. What do you think is missing? This is what, when we talk about culture, we do, right? When you go to a different country, you want to know how to order food, you want to know Thanksgiving and or Black Friday celebrations, you want to know the joke, you want to know the dress, manners. This is our habit. And what is wrong with this picture? Go ahead. It doesn't tell you about the system, the legal system, out of which what made a country what it is, and how it works for a foreigner. Education is not that, but education is your subject matter. You're a doctor, you're an engineer, you're a psychologist, that's your subject matter. But an important piece of this puzzle is when I go to a foreign country, I want to know how the systems of that foreign country works for me. What is that going to really do for you? Why would I know that? This is another the thing why it is so serious. Let's say, for example, you go drunk drive, get a DUI, and what's going to happen when you are on an F1 visa or an H1B visa with a DUI? Or for that matter, it's just not about the United States. Okay, you are drunk and you're driving and you got home safe. But in some parts of Europe, when you go out in the morning, the cops can still, test you, and if you test positive, you will get DUI. And I only know because a few of my friends went and have gotten DUI, and I don't know if it's Europe or Budapest, Hungary, but there are parts of the world where they will check in the morning too. It's not enough you get drunk, but your alcohol level really needs to be less. And if not, let's say you are running a business here, and I'm coming and telling you, my uncle is a judge, and my nephew is the commissioner of Paul County, and I'm going to make your life a hell, and every day if you don't back off from this deal. Maybe I'm bullshitting you. Maybe I'm telling this whole thing, making this thing up. Maybe I can't. Maybe at some point I'm trying to scare you, but I really can't. I do that. How do you know? If I'm an employer, I'm telling you, hey, you're fired, Praveen or, Mary, I'm not comfortable working with you, so you're fired. And I'm telling, I'm a consultant, I'm telling this to you the last week of March when April 1st is your deadline. Or I'm telling you I won't give you a receipt number. If you don't get your receipt number, how would you know your H-1B is approved or pending approval or rejected? I'm going to use all your OPT time, optional practical training, until October 1st, a week before, and I'll tell you, didn't work out. Maybe for 3 months before you could have done something. What would you do when that happens? That is legal system. And when you know that, it's going to help you build commercial value. And what's a commercial value? Building a commercial value means knowing what you can and can't do. It also means knowing what the other guy can and can't do. And then you can, together with your expertise in whatever field you're in, now collectively you can build prosperity. And out of that prosperity comes happiness. And when you're happy, you will love the people who helped you to be happy. And when you love the people, you will love the culture. That's a cycle. Now that works. What you're doing now, it's exactly the other way around. You're looking at this food, this jokes, this connections, this manners, everything in that little picture tells you to deal with people, isn't it? It teaches you to deal with people, how to blend in. And then you try blending in, and you think that's going to make you happy, and you think out of that you're going to marry a green card holder or get a friend who will help you and make prosperity. And then you think that prosperity is going to build your commercial value, and when that doesn't happen, you get offended and blame the culture where it all started. You doing it or not? This has been our habit, and that's why it's important for you to know the system. When you know that, then you will get the full benefit. I'm not telling what you're doing right now is wrong. No, it's important for you to know those manners. It's important for you to know this culture. But knowing the system is very critical. And that's the whole purpose of why this non-profit came into existence. When our events are held once in fall, once in spring. So if you miss one event, you can attend another. And who is hosting this event? This is not, I'm telling you anything about labor laws or immigration or some kind of expert explaining you. These people don't work for us, they work for the government of the United States, and that's a private law firm. You're hearing from an ABA accredited US attorney who's an expert and who's currently practicing the law. But what that means to you is you have access to the people who's doing the job right now. So they will give you the right information, and you're hearing from them, not from us. The nonprofit, on a very basic level, is hosting the event. One thing that I always want to convey to the international students, to the international community as a whole, if there is one thing that you want to know about the government of the United States, all that we want is peace. I'll let it sink for a second. What that means is, put yourself in the place of an immigration officer, right? Now you're an immigration officer and I'm coming to you, an absolute stranger, you've never met me in your life, okay? And you've got 5 minutes to assess the situation, whether I can let this guy in or process his application. I happen to be a whacker who ended up blowing a building. What do you think will happen? How nervous do you think that officer will be when processing the application? Because he or she has no idea about, the only thing they have is your documentation. And that's why you need to know that you have all the documents needed so the officer can process it. Nobody here, any government official in the United States, is roaming around with a stick to send you out of the country or make your life difficult. That's not what we are. People like Richard in Department of Labor Racketeering Division, they don't work to make sure your life is difficult. They make sure you get paid and nobody cheats you or nobody is making making use of your ignorance. And the immigration services, the only thing that they have in those 5 minutes is your documents. And helping them maintain that peace means you knowing what you need, that asking the right questions and asking when you want before you get in trouble. And that's one more reason why you can have access to my speakers even after the event. It is not that these folks are coming here today And when you graduate and land in trouble, you can reach out to us. Before I conclude, I want to conclude with this. Remember, we are not here to promise you that we're going to solve your problems. That's not what the foundation does. Not me, not them. What we do say is we will tell you the truth as it is. And in truth, that is wisdom. In wisdom, that is freedom. So you can fight for your freedom and free yourself from whatever troubles that you are in, or you will get in, which in the first place we never want you. And that's about it. And with that, Richard, thank you.
Hi, everybody. I had a chance to speak to some of you, didn't meet you yet. I'm with the Department of Labor, and what my division does, first of all, the Department of Labor has many divisions. My little slice of the pie is wages. That's what we do. We enforce wages. So if you work, you don't get a paycheck, call me. We'll help. Now, what we do for H-1B is we have a little bit of the procedure of the H-1B being issued, and we enforce the wages. Because if you're working on an H-1B visa, they have to pay you. So what is the H-1B program? It is temporary employment on a non-immigrant basis. The specialty occupations, you have to have a higher knowledge of something. Maybe not necessarily a PhD like this gentleman, but you need at least a bachelor's degree to be involved in this. There's a limit. Right now, they cap $65,000 a year, and for an additional $20,000 that do have an advanced degree, there's a little bit more, because we're very glad to get those people. Now, I was talking to Wazenn earlier about, you hear a lot in the news about the H-1B program. They say, well, there's so many Americans that are out of work. Why? Why have this program? And as we were talking about, and talking with Don, there is not as much mobility in the United States as there used to be. People can't sell their houses and get up and move like they used to. There's a lot of reasons now that there may be jobs available in Atlanta, but if you live in Miami and you can't sell your house to move to Atlanta, it's not going to do you any good. So there is a need. The company has to make sure first that they've tried. They've tried to hire Americans. They can't find enough. They need workers. So now we can start the process. And first thing you need to know is, can you, the employee, apply for an H-1B visa? Who says yes? Who says no?